Welcome back. Today we are going to learn how to do the Mirror It effect on text. I have a couple of items in my digital shop over at Design Bundles that I have created. There's one. This one is my most popular one lately, and we're going to learn how to do that effect in Cricut Design Space. And then later I will show you how to do it in Inkscape. There is one feature that we won't be able to do in Design Space because they don't let you do an offset on text. So we'll start here just because for the newbies it'll be a little easier. Let's see here. We are going to go to text and Impact, which is a system font. So if you come to System and type in Impact, mine already popped up because I was just using it. But click on Impact. And we're just going to go in caps locks. We're going to just do the word, mirror. Alright. We'll put that up here, and we're also going to duplicate that. Alright. We are going to need a shape, so we will do a square. And we'll make sure that I'm going to unlock it, so I can change the size of my square. I am going to make it longer than the word and make it pretty skinny, but at least, big enough so that there is a little bit of a gap. We'll try that. Okay, so let's make a different color. Up here, we change it, let's change it to yellow. Not that it's going to matter too much, but and then I'm going to click on both the line and the mirror word, and we're going to align, and we're going to center vertically. Now you notice the line is in the middle of the word, and that's what we want to do. So we're going to slice. They both have to be selected and slice. And then, see, I moved the word mirror down, and I'm going to delete this. I do not need that. Alright, another thing I need to do is if we're going to duplicate this again, bring this one down, so this is where we're going to do the contour feature. So in this one, we're going to click on contour, and let's get rid of the bottom pieces. Let's make this a little smaller. All I'm doing is clicking on those bottom pieces and getting rid of them. So that's going to be our top on the top of our mirror. And then here we're going to click on this one, we're going to go to contour, and we're going to click on the top to get rid of the top this time. Make this a little smaller. For some reason it always wants to undo something I haven't clicked on. So we have to play around here. Make sure it grabs the right ones. Not sure why it does it, but alright. So we go back here and we have all the bottoms. Okay, so we're going to bring this down. Here, we're going to take this, we're going to duplicate this twice, and we're going to duplicate that bottom one twice. You could do this with any font. I find that block uppercase fonts probably work the best. Play around with it. Impact would be good. Freshman would be another good one if you want to kind of make it sporty. I believe that's free over at DaFont with commercial license, I believe. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my top ones, or not attach them, I'm going to line them up. So I highlighted them and I'm going to align center horizontally so they're all even. I'll do the same thing with these. I'm going to center horizontally. And another thing I like to do is I like to align to distribute vertically so that the gaps in between the letters are about the same. And I'm going to group that together. And then I'm going to take the top one here. I'm going to do that, distribute vertically as well. And I'm going to group that. And then I'm going to highlight everything and align. Well, let's bring this down a little bit more because we're going to need it closer. I'm going to select everything. We're going to align, distribute vertically, And so then everything's even. If you want less of a gap or if you want more of a gap, you can add more into there. But before you cut, obviously you want everything to be attached, or even if you want welded, you could weld. I would just do attach. And then when you go to make, there you go. This part is pretty quick. The other thing is, like I said before, you can't do an offset in Inkscape or in Design Space. So we're going to go over to Inkscape and I will show you how to do it over there. I like Inkscape a lot better. That is where I do all my designing. So we're going to go over here to the A for text, and we're going to pick our impact font again. Oops. Impact. And we're going to do the same word, mirror. Alright. Now this is probably more for your advanced. Before we can play around with the text, we want to make sure that it is vectorized. So we're going to go object to path, we're going to go object on group, and then we're going to go path unionize. So right now if I click on the nodes, everything is vectorized. So we're going to go back to the select tool. I'm going to put this up here for now, and we're going to duplicate. So we're going to go Control D, and we have a duplication. Alright. Now we're going to go over here to the Bezier tool, right here, this one, and we're going to draw a line. Now if you look, pay attention down here, we're going to want to make sure our line says a degree of 0. So we're going to click, and as you see it says -11. We're going to bump it up till we say 0, and we're going to click and press enter. Alright, so there is our Bezier line. We're going to select both of these, and we are going to say, let's see here, we're gonna, I need my distribute. If you don't have your distribute menu over here, which I usually have mine open, so we're going to go over here, go align and distribute. Another way you can go there is, let's see here, object and align and distribute. Alright, so with that open, we're going to highlight both of those, and we are going to center on the horizontal axis so that that line is right down the middle. One thing I liked about this is that the line, it gives less of a break between the letters than it did when we were in Design Space. So right now we're going to say path, we're going to go division, and what happened is we're going to highlight our top here, and we're going to move it up, and we're going to unionize that part. And then the bottom part, I'm going to highlight and unionize that. Now, we're going to do however you want. Oh yeah, I'm going to shut off my align the cusp node. I don't like the snapping. Alright, bring this down. We're going to duplicate this a couple times, so Control D. Doesn't have to be perfect right now because we're going to get them all lined up eventually here. We're going to click on the bottom one. We're going to go Control D a couple times so we get it a couple times. Alright, we're going to Control A. We're going to line that all vertical on the vertical axis. And then we're also going to align vertical gaps between the objects to be equal. So it looks a little bit. Now this is exactly looks very similar to what we did in Design Space. So if we go back over to Design Space, you notice in Design Space we didn't have really that line here. So Inkscape, you get a little bit more detail. It probably looks more real-like cutting it in half, because all it did was broke it in half. Where in Design Space, you almost have to get rid of part of your letter. All right, another thing, if we go back to that image, we actually we got to redo this. What we want to do is we want to make it so that the halves are actually, it's kind of like an offset. So I'll go back into Design Space and we will do that part. So we'll put this over to the side. That is one version. So I'm going to duplicate this and bring it over here. And we're going to duplicate that. And we're going to make an offset right now. I'm going to zoom in. So Shift plus zooms in. And if you click on this and we go to path, linked offset, it's going to put this little triangle here. Sometimes the letters like to kind of disappear. We're going to try to, maybe we're zoomed in too much here. We're going to start over here. So don't mind me. Alright, so we're going to go here, click on that, we're going to go path, linked offset. Notice the lettering did not go away. I don't know why when you get it too big it just doesn't like it. I'm going to change that color, that offset I just created, into pink, so when we do this, oh, you know what? I'm going to go back one step. There's one other thing I like to do before I do that. Okay, I'm going to go to right here, Edit Objects, Colors, Gradients. It's a lot easier to see your offset when you change the opacity down on these letters. So now we'll go back to this. We're going to go to Mirror. We're going to go to the Path, Linked Object. We're going to change that offset a different color. So now you can see it kind of looks like a pinkish blue or black. And we're going to grab this and we're going to go down just a little bit. I'm going to bring it in a little bit, just enough to have a border. Alright, so click off to the side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change those back to a opacity of 100. However you want to do it, I like to just type it in, it goes a little quicker. Alright, and then I'm going to bring that black to the back. So now we have that. So we're going to highlight both. We're going to make sure that they're both object, path, object to path. And we're going to difference them. And as you can see, there's our kind of effect that we want to have. And we're going to do the same thing that we did over here to this here. Alright, so we're going to take our Bezier pen, click, make sure that degree is 0, and enter. Oops, I forgot to press click first. So go back, click, then enter. Alright, and highlight both. And we're going to center on horizontal axis. We're going to go up to the path. And division is what we're looking for. Now, like we did before, we're going to highlight the top ones. Oops. Highlight the top ones. We're going to unionize those. We're going to highlight the bottom ones. Path union those. We're going to duplicate, so Control D, D. So we got that. And we're going to also do the same thing, this. Control D, D. Oops. And we're going to bring this down a little bit. I don't want too much of a gap in between them. Alright. And I'm going to highlight all this here. And we're going to center on the vertical axis. And then we're also going to align them vertically to have equal gaps. And before you bring into inks to Design Space, you'd want to group them or unionize them. I usually just go ahead and unionize them. If you want to group them, you just click on here. That groups them. If you want to unionize, I'm going to ungroup there and go Path, Union. And then, of course, like this right here, you'd want gone, because anything that you're going to bring over into Design Space, you need to make sure it's within this box. And you would File, Save As, and you would go down here to Plain SVG. We're going to go here, and we're going to go Mirror. Alright. And there you go. And then you would take that file and bring that into Design Space and be able to cut that. Any questions, let me know. I will put links in the bottom of where you can grab the file if you would prefer not having to make the file yourself. I will also show some links on where you can grab fonts, people that have already created fonts to make this without having to create your own files. I like being able to grab whatever font I want to use and creating it, so this is how you do it in both Design Space and Inkscape. If you like the more detailed version, definitely download Inkscape. Try that out. Thank you for watching.